Cobra Kai Season 5 is here. First thoughts? Let's rock it. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I am The Real Brian. You never know what you're going to get on this channel. But today, we're talking about Cobra Kai Season 5, and that is Episode 1. But first, I must introduce Sensei, the Mad Scientist. Quiet! Okay.
What is up, guys? I am Luke. You can call me the Mad Scientist. Thanks for having me on, Brian.
Quiet! Oh, I love that. Dude, that's... I didn't even catch... I didn't know that was coming. Scared the crap out of me, man. Thank you. Well, hey, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We are talking Cobra Kai. We're only going to talk about Episode 1 because I just wanted to do a quick little introduction to the season, I guess. It's not even a series. The season, it's coming. Some of you have only watched Episode 1. Some of you are done already. I don't know how you did that unless you stayed up all night and watched it 10 hours straight. That's insane because it came out today, all right? So here we go. What did you think, Mad Scientist, overall so far?
As a super fan, I'm hooked.
Nice.
We know that they love their parallels to the Star Wars franchise. They talk about that even on the show. Last season was their Empire moment. Cobra Kai won. Miyagi-Do Eagle Fang lost. Miguel's gone. What happens now?
Yeah.
And we are going to some real interesting places this season.
I absolutely loved it. I love the fact that, you know, at the end of season 4, you see Miguel heading to Mexico. And so that's where we pick up. And I like that. I wasn't sure because it's kind of like, well, we're taking a departure from the traditional setting, the traditional place that this show has been taking place. And so I love it. I was hooked. I'm drawn in. I'm excited. And I got to tell you that after 5 seasons so far, how are they still doing it? Most shows die at the 4th or 5th season. Like they can't keep this up forever. It's amazing. I'm blown away. All right, let's get into this fight. Let's talk about the fight. There was one main fight in the episode. What did you think?
I thought it was really good. Really creative use of the environment. We got surfboards, and seeing father and son together is just perfection.
I was so excited that they actually hit that fight. It was only one, but it was worth it, and I'm excited to see what comes the rest of the season because I'm assuming there's more. And as you and I've talked about, they do a lot of growth through fights in this show, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's talk about some of the characters. We've got some new ones. We've got some returning ones.
Most notably, the return of Chosen. We saw him at the end of last season, and he is back in force this time around. It's really looking like that's going to be his season.
I love it.
And I'm excited to see where that happens. Also, newly introduced is Miguel's father.
Yeah.
Who may be the most handsome man I've ever seen. Beautiful beard. Beautiful man.
Perfectly manicured like a fresh cut lawn. I want your secrets.
Incredible.
Yeah, that.
And then if you've seen any of the promotional photos from before the season premiered, you already know that a certain former Cobra Kai student is poised to make his return this season.
Oh, I have not seen it yet.
Stay tuned to see how that turns out.
Okay.
And then we really have kind of the main cast that has been carrying the show since day one. Johnny and Miguel are the beating heart of this show. And it was really nice to see a little bit more focus this time on kind of the big four. Seeing Miguel, Robbie, Tori, Sam kind of reacting to what happened at the end of last season after being a little bit on the sidelines for a lot of season 4, I felt.
Agree. Yeah, I'm actually really good with it too. It's kind of fun to see a little bit of a departure from, again, all of the other stuff that's going on. I wasn't sure how I was going to like it, but I love it. So this is great. Villain time. We've got our big bad. We know it's going to be Terry, or at least so we think. Right now, Kreese is out of the picture. What do you think about Terry as a big bad so far?
Terry, the Leviathan himself.
Yeah.
Coming in a little bit more poised this time around, a little bit more restrained than Cocaine Terry back in Karate Kid 3.
Oh, sorry.
So much more menacing.
Yeah.
He controls every scene that he's in.
Like you said, he's not as unpredictable as he used to be. He's definitely more of that controlled Terry, and so that makes him very dangerous. And we find out that the name that he dropped in Karate Kid 3 was actually his sensei, who we find out is very dangerous. And I'm hoping we'll see an appearance by this sensei, whoever it may be, already in the first episode. This is what I love about this show. They find a way to create even more character development in a 30-something minute episode, which just blows my mind. This is one of the best shows of character development I think I've seen ever. And they continue to bring in some very important life lessons and incredible themes that are worth discussing.
So this has always been a show about holding on to the past versus moving forward, repeating the mistakes of the past. And we're starting to see a little bit more of that, learning from your mistakes, trying to move forward, and seeing that this season, seeing how that progresses, I think is going to be a really interesting thing. Yeah. And then we talked a little bit about control already as an aspect of Terry, but that seems to be such a huge thing this season. I already called him the Leviathan, but we see him reading that book by Hobbes in season 4, and it's a book about control, about a central authority as a way of avoiding chaos in society. Yeah. And it seems to be that Terry is just pulling all of that power towards himself so that he can control everything around him. And he calls that his legacy.
Yeah. Okay. So talk about the legacy. They no such thing as a bad student. Is that true?
Yeah.
You think so?
That is one of the central theses of the show. I'm not sure kind of where I stand on that, but it really does a good job of showing how all of the mistakes, all of the traumas get passed down from parents to children, teachers to students. Mm-hmm. So I think having that kind of represented is a really, really cool aspect of the show.
Cobra Kai handles trauma and PTSD very well, actually. I think it's a very realistic portrayal of how it works, and I'm thankful for that because these are kind of things that should be addressed in a healthy way through entertainment without it being an agenda, which I thought was good.
Absolutely. And they're never heavy-handed about it. It's usually at least fairly subtle, which is another thing that I really appreciated, because usually these sorts of traumas, these sorts of things are not super obvious or overt.
True. Well, even what we're seeing right now with Samantha, she's replaying that kick over and over and over that Tori, dealt to her at the end of season 4. I'm seeing a little Captain Ahab thing going on with her right now. So she's not handling the trauma well. She's trying to find her mistake, but she's not going to handle it well based on what I'm seeing so far. So let's talk music. All right. And we're trying to keep this brief, of course, but I got to tell you, I always look forward to the music in Cobra Kai. They do such a great job of pulling in wonderful soundtrack with incredible pop songs, rock songs, that fit each character. They've done an amazing job of that so far. We didn't see any kind of pop or rock, song really at all in this episode, but we saw some great soundtrack stuff. So we're kind of waiting to see what's coming.
Yeah, and we haven't had that big musical moment, something really important over a montage or a huge character breakthrough. We had Quiver in season 1. We had Like a Dance in season 2. Mm-hmm. And I think that's coming, but we still have just the phenomenal musical work. Each character has their own kind of theme that plays under them when they have important moments, and Terry Silver's just chaotic classical strings are just perfection.
It so fits him. This could be an entire episode in and of itself, the way that they've done music in this show. It's genius. We have some fun questions here that we'd love for you to answer, so definitely answer these in the comments below, but a couple of open-ended questions here. So Mad Scientist, give us your first one.
How do you think Johnny's TV is going to get destroyed this season? It gets busted every single season up through now, and I don't see them stopping that trend.
That's a good question.
So how do you think it's going to happen?
Okay. Will we get any additional weapon training scenes, etc., like bring out the size again, Chosen? What else are we going to see? Are we going to see the amazing katana fight yet?
And it seems like we're bringing in some new characters, and they all have some pretty mad martial arts skills. So what fights are you most looking forward to this season?
Yes. We just talked about the music. So what music do you think is going to be your favorite musical representation of each character? Let us know.
If you have predictions or reactions to the first episode or two, leave a comment down below. Just be mindful that not all of us have made it all the way through the season yet. So if you know what's coming, please don't spoil it for the rest of us.
Please and thank you. Mad Scientist, thank you. It's been awesome having you here. I appreciate this. This was good to team up on this one here. Little Cobra Kai team up here.
Thanks for having me on, Brian.
Of course. And thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. If you are multi-passionate or curious about life and a lot of things like we are, please hit subscribe. We talk about a lot of things here like Cobra Kai and other TV shows and movies, but we also talk about other crazy topics because we just like to dig into this stuff as quickly and briefly as possible. Thank you so much for joining us. Get out there, make Sensei Lawrence proud. Quiet.